The teen green in this debt generation. Do you know that teenagers are spending on an average from $300 to $500 a month, and 60% of that is coming from mom and dad?
They're such helpful parents.
Yeah, and by the time they go to college, we're talking $600 in debt with credit cards already.
Exactly the time you don't want to be in debt, because you're probably going to go into debt while you're in school. I mean, just paying for school is a difficult thing to pay for. So you don't want to go into school with debt. That's just teaching your kids the wrong things.
And then I'm thinking, okay, so then they're coming out of school with more school debt. So now we're going to have people getting married saying, will you take this woman and her $9,500 debt to be your lawfully wedded wife?
Wow. And add that to mine, right? Because he's got money. He's in the hole.
That's right.
So they're going to, I have a couple going into getting married at $45,000 in the hole already. Getting married.
Oh, and see, I'm sorry, but marriage is hard. Why would you want to start all the way underground like that?
Now, don't forget, there is good debt and then there's bad debt, right? And sometimes good debt can include student loans, for example. So if you're $45,000 in debt because you wanted to become a doctor and it cost you that much to become a doctor, you're probably going to pay that off pretty easily. So it all is sort of relevant to how much you're going to earn.
What kind of debt it is.
Yeah, what kind of debt and how quickly can you pay it off based on your income level. Right. So not all debt is bad, but at the same time, we have to be very careful, especially if personal consumption debt, credit card debt and those kinds of debt.
Okay, but moms and dads, I know it's hard to say no to your kids, and we want to give to our kids. So you guys, what are some things we can help parents to just start setting some limits?
Well, first you got to, I think, coach kids to say that isn't always now. It's not always now. I mean, you don't have to buy it now. You can defer it. You can wait and look at what's it going to do. One friend said this to me. He says, "My kid wants to buy something." So I say to him, "Okay, would you pay for half of it if I pay for half of it?" And the kid thinks, I don't know if I want to give that much money. Right? I don't know if I want to give up that much money for that thing, right? And so I think that's a little step saying, would you put money into this as you want it that much, right?
That's
I think also some kids are actually intrigued by the idea that they can actually set money aside and watch it actually grow.
Yes.
Over time. Sometimes they like to see their bank accounts grow over time or investment accounts.
Oh, yes,
so
they do.
Parents need to show their kids or tell their kids about the fact that you can set aside money, and over a period of time, 5, 6, 7 years, it's going to grow to be worth more than it was before. And kids actually get excited by that. And when you start that at a young age, it teaches them that actually setting aside money can be a good thing.
Yeah,
which is
and the matching dollar idea too is one where you say, okay, you want to buy this item? Well, listen, for every $5 you put in towards it, I'll put in 5, so let's start saving together. The kid puts in 7, you put in 7, they see it grow like that, and then they're actually working to pay something off before they actually purchase it.
Now, we don't have the matching money for things like toys or Xboxes or whatever, but we do it in their savings account to try to encourage them in putting money aside that is for way down the road for the future. That's what we match, and they get so excited about that.
Yeah, I think what we've done for our kids, my kids are 9, 8, and 5 years old, and with the 5-year-old, we haven't really started him on a savings program, but for the 9-year-old and the 8-year-old, we opened up bank accounts for them this year for the first time. They had never had the concept of interest before, so what we do now is we give them
do you mean a checking or a savings?
No, it's just a savings account.
Okay.
But we'll actually take them down to the bank. I don't use the bank machine with them. We'll go to the counter. They'll actually deposit the money, and they'll get the bank book back, and they'll look at it and they see the number actually has grown because they saved some more. And they actually get very excited by that.
And they feel so mature and grown up that they're doing something.
And then I start talking to them about what they want to use that money for. And we talk about giving some away. We talk about spending some. And for the money they want to spend, I get them thinking ahead of time about what is it they want to spend it on. And we make it clear to them, well, you don't have enough yet, but you're going to have enough if you keep saving, and we'll help you with it.
Right.
So it gives them, it does defer that gratification, but they're getting used to that already.
Right. Kids in debt, though. There's kids who can't picture the fact that I can't have it now, remember? And secondly, it's really important for them to realize that I have buying power that's not even mine. See, the credit card that's going to come and all that. So even to start talking to kids about the value of a credit rating, the value of what a card will bring, and how much I can really have in a card and what it really does for me. Those are great things to teach a kid before they even step out of the house, because they get into so much debt so early.
And this sounds simple, but you know what? Most of us are not doing this. We are not sitting down and have these kind of conversation with kids. I know some of our closest friends, their son's in college, he's already in debt, and his rent came up and he couldn't make rent. And she's talking to me on the phone saying, okay, do I let him get evicted, or do we step in and help out?
Well, I think that's a difficult decision for parents, but you have to look at what the ramifications are for your kids. If your kids are spending so much money that they can't pay their rent and they're being threatened of losing their apartment or whatever, maybe that's not such a bad thing. I mean, as long as they have a place to go and sleep at night, that's the most important thing.
Okay, but what if they don't?
Well,
I mean, what if they're going to be spending the night, on the street?
But on that, you say, come on back home. Try again.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't bail them out maybe once, but then after that, you don't bail them out, because then you just perpetuate the problem. They have to pay the price, and it's back home, back in your bunk bed. They feel like it's a little, weasel again, right? Now listen, you've got questions that you need to be talking to your kids about. okay? We just got a sampling here, you know, on debt and how to deal with the labels and stuff. But what are the questions you need to be talking to your kids about? Because if you want them to be ready for all this kids in cash and not get messed up down the road, you've got to be talking. If you got more questions, send them to us, marriageuncensored.com. We'll answer them for you. Stay with us.